Good afternoon, Anupama. Welcome to my USP. Thank you so much for finding the time to be here. I'm so grateful to you. And before we start, let me just give a quick introduction. You are the director of 4C Integrated Communicators. And I'm so glad you found the time to be here. And I'm before you say anything, I'm going to ask you this question right away. What is it between you and 4 and C and I? What is the connection? Tell me that first.
Good afternoon, Shambhavi. And I'm really happy and honored to be here today with you. I've always looked up to you every time that I meet you. The interaction has been a value addition to what I already know or what I already do. So, thank you very much for having me on this platform. Now, the
Thank
question
you for being
about
so
four,
kind. Yeah, please.
about four C and I. A lot of things here. It stems back from the thought process where when we get into business, we start thinking about what can I get to the table? What can I do? What can make me a successful business owner? But before we start thinking about this, we always need to keep one thing in mind that people do business for people. Yeah. So I always say business is done by people for people. And when the people aspect comes in the forefront, that's when you start thinking about the people aspect. And in any business, what comes first? Communication, clients. So everything starts with C, you see? So that's where it
I
kind
see.
of
I
clicks.
see.
In fact, any pitch deck, if you look at 4C, it's always 4C, IC. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it just came out as a word play. Because when we talk about creativity, it's just doing things a little uh, differently than what others would think of. And that's what we did. We just played with the creativity, and the eye just kind of pushed itself in because we are into advertising and marketing. We talk about integrated marketing, so that eye just kind of pushed itself in, and everything just fell into place. When you are on the right path, the universe actually conspires to put things in the right direction, in the right way, and that's what exactly it happened. So that's how we say 4C IC. So 4C integrated communicators.
No, so my question is also connected to you have some other eyes as well. And are the 4 C's the same there with your other hats that you wear?
Everywhere, everywhere. Yeah, because be it business or otherwise, it's all about people, right? We are so bound by our family bonds, our social bonds. When we come into the professional setup, it's about, we always talk about creating that connect rapport with people, be it your partners, your stakeholders, your employees, your clients. Yeah, so that C of having clients, it's again the first C of everything, people. Yeah. We talk about passing on ideas, passing on messages, doing things, passing on our concepts to other, our knowledge to others, communication, right? So these things you cannot literally pull apart from any aspect of your life. People do come first. Communication is required. Yeah. So whatever hat you wear, these things are important, have to be kept in mind if you want to be successful. Yeah. So
So,
that's irrespective. Yeah,
right.
irrespective of anything and everything you do, those C's continue with you.
Right. And so, as you said, same, I love playing with words and the same thing. And did you know that we have one more thing in common? We are both alumni from Manipal.
Oh yes, of course.
So I think this is a great time to say thank you to the faculty and the people who actually are from Manipal, and to say hi to all the alumni. And so it's great. I didn't realize it till I was actually going through and researching for this session. That so I tell me a little bit about your Manipal MBA journey.
Oh wow. I have been always academically inclined. When I landed in Dubai, I was a postgraduate in interior design, and that too also commercial space design. Landing here, of course, took me on a different trajectory altogether. I got into another creative field, and that is advertising. But when I was hunting for a job, I realized people were asking, "Oh, you don't have a qualification in marketing, you don't have a qualification in advertising." And that's when I started hunting what I should do for my certification. And at that point, I was working with one of the agencies, and they were handling marketing for Manipal.
Oh.
And I was the person assigned for
To
that particular account. And that's how I got to know people in Manipal. And when it time came for me to apply for my MBA course, the first choice was, of course, Manipal. I just had to pick up the phone and say, "I want to do an MBA. Would you take me in?" And there was no questions asked. They said, "Yes, you're most welcome." Then that's how it landed in my plate. I didn't make any specific efforts to get into Manipal. But once I got in there, I I did my MBA quite late in life. Yeah, I was almost 40 when I did my MBA. So I thought, okay, how I'm going to fit into that entire college life. How it's going to be, would be people more acceptable of an old lady sitting in the class taking classes. But it was such a wonderful experience. Yeah. The faculty was amazing. Yeah. They made sure that I was taken care of if I was falling short anywhere. And the most important thing was, because of my experience of working in an agency, added to what I was doing academically, there were many a times, I was picked up actually. Okay, Anupama, you should explain this concept. And it kind of reiterated my learnings all over again. The experience and the academics kind of, plugged in, and I was able to perform well. And of course, at the end of the MBA, I was like on the top of the class. So it was a good time to feel that, okay, I have achieved it. I
I
have
have
achieved.
absolutely no doubts about that at all. My question to you, the next one is most of the time, and I get to see and listen to a lot of it, that you don't need academics. You just need the experience. And, you what I didn't learn in school, what I didn't learn in college is like become a very kind of fashionable statement. What do you think about it? After your academic sessions that you had, I mean, your teachers were asking you to quote examples. Did your academics help you in any way for your work in your workplace?
Academics does not really mean that you need to learn the concepts. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you should learn the theory. What academics gets is the discipline that you require in terms of thinking. It opens up your mind to a lot of more things that just an experience wouldn't. With experience, you get to implement the concepts that you have learned in the academic environment. Okay? But it is the discipline, is the thought process of how to use that thought process comes in your professional life. That's where you make use of it. It's not about the concepts that you learn. Yeah, that I can just read a book and learn those concepts. But the attitude to implement those comes from academics, comes from a college, comes from a mentor. Yeah? And for those things, you do not have any other option, at least till date. Yeah, I would take 4 hours of college, 4 years of college, and get into a profession. Yeah, and do something about what I've learned. But if I have to take the experience back into college, then I become a mentor. I don't become a student. Okay?
Yes.
And if you think yourself as a eternal student, then everywhere you go, it becomes an academic only, because you keep on learning, be it a small certification course, be it learning from a student that you are teaching something. Yeah, so this continuous learning thing is what helps you move forward, either it be in an academics or in professional life.
So
Both
you
are
gave the
equally as important. Both are equally as important, because what you don't get in experience, you get at academics. What you then don't get in college, you get in experience. So both have to be
right.
given that much of weightage.
So you've given the exact word, the mentor, which you also are to people, and whatever our interactions have been, I have seen that you're actually mentor. So did mentorship, becoming a mentor happen to you, or were you always a leader, a mentor all along? The young Anupama who is back home in school, college, was she always the one who stood up, and or who was the one waiting in the queue for others to take the lead? How was that journey?
I don't know if I was a leader, but I was a mentor from day one. Yeah, when I was in college, yeah, people used to wonder how does Anupama always stand first in class. What they didn't realize was I used to teach others. I used to make sure. I was in the hostel for almost 5 years. I had a roommate, and she was from a vernacular medium. She didn't understand a word of English. I used to teach her the subjects. Now, to teach her the subjects, first I had to learn them myself, understand. Then only I can teach. So I used to read the books, prepare notes, explain to her, write down the questions for her to respond to. Yeah, in this whole process I never had time for studying as such, the colloquial thing that okay, you have to study with a book, spend so much of hours, write your notes, make questionnaires, attempt question papers, I didn't go through that. Yeah, I always made sure that I learned it my way, I explained it to others, and that's how I studied. And that was one of the reasons, like people used to spend hours and hours trying to mug notes, find prepare those questionnaires and respond to them, and all those gimmicks. I never did anything of that. So the mentoring part actually made me so well versed with my curriculum that I would want to narrate this story to you. uh, in my first year of college, okay, we had a subject called organizational behavior. And there was a exam that the professor conducted. At the end of the exam, when it is time for to announce the marks, the answer sheets were given back to every student with their marks on it, and mine came with a big zero. And I was like, "What? How can this happen?" Yeah. And before I would ask her, "Okay, why did you give me a zero?" She said, "Anupama, please come in front of the class." I went there, and she said, "Meet the best copycat in class." And I was like, "What? Yeah, what do you mean copycat?" She said, "She has actually copied her answers from the textbook." And I was like freaked out completely. I mean, you are actually questioning my ability. There was my friend sitting right in the front bench, and I said, "Okay, please open page number so and so. The answer to this first question is there, and this is the way it is written down. This is the explanation that's for this particular question. Question number two, open page number so and so. This is where the answer is. Question number three, this is the question number three. The answer is on question paper, page number so and so, paragraph so and so, line number so and so." My professor shut her mouth for the entire year. She said,
What?
"Oh my God, I mean, this is the way you study?" I said, "No, I don't study. Everybody knows I don't study. What I do is I read, I prepare my notes, and I explain it to somebody so that they understand. And in that process, I finish studying." And that's how I've done my uh, graduation, my post graduation, and even my MBA.
The one size does not fit all is something which there is so much discussion on all fronts, whether academic or personal. Everyone, we just keep trying to put people into stereotypes. So I think that is something
Absolutely.
which really people have to come out. And it's so easy to be judgmental and uh, it I think these conversations and like how you're sharing your story opens out more minds and more people. Otherwise, you just expect certain people a certain way, and you just. And another important thing which I would say is we need to learn to let people grow and evolve from wherever they are. So today they are not that doesn't mean tomorrow they cannot achieve that or become that. In our mind, we have to open those doors. And I think you being a mentor, working with so many young people, working with so many networking, various communities, various types, background that people have, I think you just kind of have an open mind and you're able to do that. So tell me a little bit about your networking that you do, and how do you manage to find the time to give all the time?
I believe in one very well known adage: the more you give, the more you get. And I've experienced this personally. The more I give anything, be it knowledge, be it my time, I get more of it. And just not more, many affords from quarters that I haven't even thought of. Now, when it comes to networks, what people do is, okay, we have to go for a network event. Yeah. We do not have any plan. We do not know what's going to happen there. We are absolutely ignorant. Yeah. That's not the way you approach networking. If I go and spend some time with people, I know what my time is worth and I make the most of it. I go with a purpose, with a target in mind. I know what I'm going to do there. I know what time I'm going to land there and what time I'm going to leave from there. Yeah, all of this are, aspects are well planned. And that is one of the reasons why I make the most out of the networks I go to. And the more you start giving in these networks, you build a reputation. Just about a other day, somebody told me this. When you start talking about yourself, you're promoting yourself, Anupama. But when others are talking about you, you're building a reputation. And I have built that reputation. And the way I have built it because of these networks. The more I give in these networks, people say Anupama is giving, but actually I'm not giving anything. I'm just too selfish to give. Yeah, because I know that by giving, I'm going to get more. That is the reason I'm giving.
Nice, good,
Yeah. So
good, good
so
one to
that
follow.
if you think you have been giving, sorry, you are absolutely wrong. I am not giving anything. I know I'm going to get back in many of fold, and that is the reason I'm giving. I'm not giving you money. I'm giving you time, which is much more valuable. Yeah, if I give you money, Shambhavi, you're going to give it back to me. I give you 10 dirhams, I'll get my 10 dirhams back. But if I'm giving you time, yeah, it's so much valuable that that time set, yeah, those 30 minutes, 50 minutes, you can't give back to me. You can give a substitution to it, but you can't give
Yeah.
that time. So I'm giving something very much valuable. I know because that is going to come in many of folds back to me, be it in terms of money, be it in terms of time, be it in terms of efforts, be it in terms of kind. It's going to come back. Yeah, and if we
Uh,
all keep that mindset, I think no business owner is ever going to say, okay, I don't have time for this, I can't do this, I have this concerns, I have this problem, I have this challenges. No, they will
and
not.
I'm totally grateful for that time that you're giving me today. I fully appreciate it. So this is a question which I can't ask many others, but this which I can ask you, Anupama. Tell me this: you lived and worked in a time in the same region when there was no social media, and then now we have social media. Everything has to be there, kind of a thing, which everything starts from social media rather than leading to social media. Tell me, what are the things which you do not change from what you had those days to now, even in spite of or irrespective of social media or added on social media? How, what are those things, a couple of things which will not change?
One thing that will not change for me ever is that opportunity to pick up that phone and call someone. When social media was not there, that's what we did, right? Now with social media, I still I hate that situation wherein I have to look at my social media to see how many people have wished me birthday on my birth date. Yeah, there's just something called phone. Yeah, it just takes a few seconds, and that's one thing I have maintained for so long, all these years. Those people I need to keep in touch with, those people who are important for me, I make sure that I give them a call, not only on their birthdays, but whenever I think of them. Yeah, I make sure I give them a call. I don't like to send a WhatsApp message saying, "Hi, happy birthday," or "Hi, I'm thinking of you." Sorry, no. That's very high and dry, as they say. There's no personal touch to it. Yeah, I write. I write small snippets for them. Yeah, and I would love to recite them rather than to share them on WhatsApp. Yeah? Because that's what gives the
That's
personal touch. That's one thing that should never go out of fashion. And that one thing is to connect from one person to another. Yeah, technology, social media has made the world smaller. Yeah, now I can talk to people in the US. Yeah, any time of the day, just sending them a hi. Yeah, I have cousins in the US, and therefore when it's morning for me, it's middle of night for them, and we send a hi. But I make specifically an effort to call them when I think of them. And it's not only with my family, it's with my clients, with my social circle, with the people in the network. If I'm close enough to them and I want them to say that I remember you, I'm thinking of you, I just pick up the phone and I say, I'm thinking of you. Yeah,
that,
that is
that,
never going
that
to change, and that should not change for us, because at the end of the day we are social people. Yeah, what do you say, not people, social animals. So let's be that social. Yeah, where we keep that interaction going.
right. So one of my, you've already given so many pointers, but I want to ask you this question because the show is about, and this conversation is about, what do you think is your undisputable superpower?
I have two powers actually. Yeah, the first one is the power of giving, the power of gifting. I can gift anything. There's no limit to what I can do. And the second power is, of course, correlated to it. Yeah, what happens is once we give, we talk about, oh, I gave him this, I gave him that. I'll have the power to let go. I never talk about what I have given. That's very important, because the once you start uh, talking about what you have given, yeah, you get so entangled in that aspect of giving that you forget that you have to receive as well. And you let, you're so focused on the giving and talking about it, yeah, that you ignore what is coming back to you. So those two have to go hand in hand: the power to give and the power to let go.
So
Very important.
was this old soul always inside Anupama, or is this something you matured into over a period of time?
uh, I think I got into this mindset after my marriage. Yeah, the family I come from, quite an influential family, so I never had to think about others. I had to think only about myself. Yeah, and when I got married, suddenly I was put into a picture where now I had to think about not only myself, but my husband, my daughter. Yeah, and then that's when I realized, if you have to give, you have to give with an open mind, without any hiccups, without any concerns, without any thought of what you're receiving. Yeah, give and let it go, because then there's space to receive what you're supposed to. So
So when we start, well, I'm so glad we had this conversation, Anupama, because when I start and think about, never really plan a conversation. It's very unscripted. It's just where it goes. So I don't really know whether we're going to talk about the company or whether we're going to talk about the people or whether we're going to take a reflection moment. I have no idea at all, very honestly. So uh, before we wrap up, do you want to say something about your company, about your team? Do you want to say something about them or about your family? Something which is important, close to you. All of these are important. I'm not saying they aren't. Something which is close to you, which you would like to address in this particular segment today, at this moment. Do you want to give a message out?
You're talking about the superpower. Actually, to tell you, Shambhavi, I don't have any superpowers. My superpower is the people around me. My family is my superpower. Yeah? Because they have made who I am today. Be it my parents, be it my daughter, they have added those facets of what Anupama is. Be it at workplace, it is my team who is the superpower. They are the superpower I have. Today I don't go to office anymore. Yeah, I work from home because I have an 82-year-old mother whom I'm taking care of. So I cannot leave her alone. I cannot leave her on somebody else. Yeah, I take care of her myself. So I've just given up going to office. But yet the office runs the way it should. And that is because of these people who are associated with the business. When I have to take time out to go to networking events or meetings and stuff like that, yeah, there is somebody in the family or outside the family who's I wouldn't say babysit, but yeah, mommy sitting for me. Yeah. So these are the people who give me that power. And these are my superpowers. These are the people who are surrounding me. And if you have people who are supporting you, be it in your personal life, your professional life, your social life, or otherwise, you can never fall down. You can never fall down. And if you do by chance, yeah, there are always those 20 hands waiting to pick you up again and put you on the right path. Yeah. So people are important. Put people first. In it's a family, put family first. If it's a business, put your employees, your clients first. Yeah. If it's your social circle, put other people first. The moment you start putting other people first, they will start putting you first. So people is the most important superpower anybody can have. And I have that.
It's amazing, wonderful, and such a great note to wrap up this conversation. And I'm going to, as always, follow you on LinkedIn and see what you're blogging about, writing about, follow you on your other social media. But LinkedIn is where I actually follow you. And I learned so much about how you do your business, how you conduct. And I have to say this, that it's amazing. Thank you so much once again for finding the time. And we'll meet again. Till then, thank you for being on my USP, Anupama. Have a wonderful
Thank you very
life
much.
ahead and best
Thank
wishes.
you, Shambhavi. It was a pleasure. I always said that every interaction with you is amazing for me. It brings new learning, new ideas, new exposure, and I'm looking forward to stay connected with you not only through this platform but outside this platform as well. So thank you very much for
Thank you.
having me on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.